Welcome back to Cartoon Analysis. I'm your host Giovanni Perez Mendez, and in this video I will be reviewing Season 3, Episode 9, Part 1 of Star vs. the Voices of Evil, otherwise known as Princess Turdina. Let's jump right into it. In the beginning, we are shown Ponyhead, Star, and Marco all traveling together in a carriage with an invisible goat hooked up to it to make the return to St. Olga's Reform School for Wayward Princesses, now known as the School for Doing Just Fine. Mainly, the purpose of returning is all of the princesses living there would like to give Marco an honorary degree. But Marco would also like to come clean to the girls at the school, telling them he is not who they think she is, or I should say, he is. As they arrive and are ready to walk the rest of the way to the school, Marco has trouble with the dress he is wearing when exiting the carriage after Star and Ponyhead, so Star decides to help him out as a great friend and princess she is. After Marco leaves the carriage with Star and Ponyhead, ready to walk the rest of the way to the castle, he immediately becomes stage frightened and tries to back out of the event before it is too late. But all the other princesses there see along with encouraging him and show Princess Turdina, Star, and Ponyhead around the new school that they have created on their own. While Princess Turdina / Marco loves the idea of Miss Haynes having been kicked from the school board and no longer in control, he is worried for the princesses and their new curriculum on the place. He thinks there should be some certain rules in life and tries to teach that to the princesses. But this makes them immediately think Princess Turdina had helped lead the revolution on a lie towards the princesses beforehand, so he immediately backs out of what he had said and turns it into a joke before it is too late. Continuing forward, the princesses show the rest of the school, including the brunch room, Whispering Gardens, party class, and the Hall of Turdina. As the Grand Slam, though, they all show Princess Turdina's group a party and a special surprise in honor of him. This excites Marco, but Star immediately tries to get him to back down and tell all the princesses there his true identity before it becomes too late. Marco forgets all about what he originally came to the school to do and still encourages his entire revolution along with admiring his new statue of Princess Turdina. He takes selfies with some of the groups there while Star watches, wishing he would tell the truth to all of them sometime soon. But Ponyhead opposes to Star and encourages Marco, so he decides to take her advice instead of from his real best friend. And after a magic act performance, Princess Turdina is introduced to all the princesses and the crowd as they are all fans of her. Princess Turdina is then presented with the honorary degree and begins giving a speech, which in it encourages the princesses and the revolution they have all started together. But Marco then stops in his tracks when realizing after seeing Star he needs to stop lying and to come clean. But before he's finally able to, Miss Haynes, Gemini, and Rastakor arrive into the dimension to expose Princess Turdina with a tape containing audio and video proof. But Marco doesn't mind if the information is shown to the princesses, since all of it was a fake confessional. And since that is true, Miss Haynes decides to show all the girls in the audience Princess Turdina / Marco is a boy, but this still doesn't convince them since girls technically can have hair in places usually only boys have, but Marco decides to own up and tells the truth. After all this is cleared up, Miss Haynes tries to speak out and takes down Marco as the girl's inspiration to reinstate herself as the headmaster of the school, but all the princesses decide it is okay if Marco is a boy and defend him as their leader. All of the princesses begin charging Miss Haynes and the group jumps back in their car and makes an exit back to their own dimension. This calls for a celebration for the girls and Marco as they all party and he is finally glad to have come clean. Marco is happy again with what he has accomplished and takes a selfie as the new boy princess with a few other princesses. After Star, Marco, and Ponyhead leave, the other girls begin wondering whatever happened to their friend Smoochie. And before the episode ends, a dark secret is revealed as Miss Haynes uses Princess's life force and drains them of it as it is all transferred and goes to her. Another noticeable detail is Rastakor has had his body even more redeveloped again and regenerated. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, leave it a like. Also, comment down below your thoughts and opinions. Subscribe for more awesome content and turn on the little bell to receive notifications for whenever I upload or live stream. Finally, share this with your friends and family to help support me and my channel. Thanks again, and I am your host Giovanni Perez Mendez, signing off. Bye everyone.
She's a princess queen.